epilepsy warning for flashing lights and colors.
The summer season is fully underway, and it's the perfect time of year for water slides. For this video, we'll be talking about some of the most insane water slide designs and attractions you've most likely never heard of. These slides are so insane that they're just awesome, and something else that's awesome is getting a delicious, wholesome breakfast with this video's sponsor, Magic Spoon.
Now you may already know Magic Spoon for their high-protein fueling cereals. This cereal has plenty of flavors to choose from, all of which taking you back to the taste of your childhood. And not only that, but these cereals have 13 to 14 grams of protein, as well as 0 added sugar, and just 4 to 5 grams of net carbs per serving. And Magic Spoon is more than just cereal, they've also got these delicious cereal treats as well. They come in flavors like chocolate peanut butter, blueberry muffin, double chocolate, and marshmallow. And as for fuel, these bars have 11 to 12 grams of protein, as well as just 1 gram of sugar and 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, so you can get the wholesome fuel you need on the go. I recently took one to the gym when I needed a protein boost. And on top of everything, Magic Spoon has this amazing granola as well. This granola has 13 to 14 grams of protein, as well as 7 to 8 grams of fiber and 0 added sugar. You can get it in flavors like dark chocolate almond, mixed berry, peanut butter, or this incredible honey almond flavor, which I use to make this amazing kiwi passion fruit parfait. If you're looking to try Magic Spoon for yourself, head to my link in the description or use my promo code CRAZY. You'll get $5 off, and you can find Magic Spoon at your local grocery store or on Amazon. And the best part of all of this is, Magic Spoon has a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like your product for any reason, they'll refund your money with no questions asked. Splash right into summer and get yourself some Magic Spoon today. Special thanks to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video.
Number 10. Surreal at Brazil's Beach Park. At first glance, you may think that this slide is an AI-generated visual your grandmother sent you on Facebook. But in actuality, this beautiful example of engineering was built by Canadian manufacturer Whitewater West. Located at Brazil's popular beach park, this water coaster first made its debut in March of 2025. As of right now, this right here is the tallest water coaster on Earth, standing at a top height of 28 meters or around 90 feet. Right off the bat, this slide stands out with a visually stunning tower. Like other water coasters, this slide features thrilling drops and hills that shoot passengers upwards with high-powered water jets. On top of that, this slide features 2 tight turns known as constrictors, along with an element known as a rattler. This wide tube section allows the raft to oscillate, giving what Whitewater describes as a zero-gravity sensation. The ambition behind this slide is simply astounding, and it really is one of those attractions you have to see to believe. Brazil truly is the water slide capital of the world. Number 9. Stingray at France's Oglis Park. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may remember this slide concept from my 2021 IAPA highlights video. Built by Turkish manufacturer Poland Water Parks, the Stingray is described by the company as a first-class water slide. Resembling the aquatic animal of the same name, the Stingray stands out thanks to its unique design, engineering, and ride experience. Just recently in 2024, the first official installation made its debut at Oglis Park in Le Bernard, France, so you finally have a chance to give it a ride. In addition to being visually astounding, this 4-lane, 8-passenger racing tube slide packs in a ton of features. Riders choose one of 4 enclosed flumes, which twist and turn before dropping passengers into one of 2 massive bowls. Each has 2 unique paths, one that's faster and larger, and one that's shorter and more accessible. The end result is a highly variable ride experience that changes based on your chosen lane and even your group's combined weight. Every ride feels different, making it one of those slides you'll want to re-ride again and again. With its iconic shape, high capacity, and strong re-rideability, Stingray is a great example of how Poland continues to innovate in water slide engineering. Number 8. The La Selva water slide at Costa Rica's Buena Vista Eco Adventure Park. This attraction is part of the Buena Vista del Rincon, which includes a hotel and spa as well as an adventure park. In addition to ziplining and horseback riding, guests can experience the La Selva water slides. This naturally powered slide is situated in the middle of a tropical forest. With the push of a lever, stored water from a nearby river sends guests zooming down a smooth concrete slide. For safety reasons, each rider is required to wear a rubber inner tube around their waist and a helmet on their head to keep from hitting the sides of the slide. In total, this slide measures in at around 1,400 feet or 425 meters long. This is over 4 football fields long, and all the while, you'll enjoy a picturesque, fast-paced ride through a lush landscape. If you plan on visiting Costa Rica, you're definitely going to want to check this slide out. Number 7. The Aqua Slidecoaster on the Norwegian Aqua cruise ship. We've discussed some awesome cruise ship water slides before, but this one is pretty epic too. Built by German manufacturer Vegan Meltzer, this Aqua Slidecoaster model uses a high-tech catch car mechanism to launch riders into the course. Here's how it works. The catch car sits on a coaster track. Meanwhile, the catch car has 2 arms that are placed behind the rafts. Along the track is an LSM or linear synchronous motor system, the same magnetic technology found on major roller coasters. When this system activates, the catch car is launched forwards, pushing the rafts from 0 to 30 miles per hour in just a few seconds. Afterwards, passengers are taken on a lengthy, colorful water slide that lasts about a minute. This attraction is the first of its kind in the world, and it's only available aboard the Norwegian Aqua. So far, reviews of the slide have been overwhelmingly positive. Matt Roseboom of Attractions magazine said, quote, "The slide coaster was my favorite part of sailing on Norwegian Aqua." Erica Silverstein of thepointsguide.com said, "Even in Europe's chilly March weather, the slide coaster was amazingly fun and a not-to-be-missed experience." And Sally French of nerdwallet.com said, "Called the Aqua Slidecoaster, the splashy ride sums up what this cruise is all about. High energy, family-focused fun with a wave of innovation." So if you're a thrill seeker booking a cruise anytime soon, consider hopping aboard the Norwegian Aqua. Number 6. Tobogganxote at Mexico's Explore. This ride was built by Aqua Quita, a well-respected slide manufacturer based out of the Mexican state of Nuevo León. They've built several incredible water slides over the years, and this one may be the craziest, most amazing one you've never heard of. Located in the Riviera Maya Resort District in Quintana Roo, this slide takes 5 thrilling water ride elements and combines them into one attraction. Passengers start at a top height of 135 feet in the air. After donning helmets and boarding a multi-person raft, they're sent downwards into element number 1, the aquasphere. This hollow sphere allows the raft to sway before plunging into the next element, the half wave. Element number 2 allows the raft to soar into the sky before swiftly and speedily coming back down, gravity in action. Element number 3 is a whirlpool. Here, the raft spins around a large bowl, gradually coming closer to the center. Here, the pathway continues into element number 4, the whirlwind. This enormous funnel allows guests to drop downwards at high speed before reaching the other side and continuing to dip and rise until they reach the exit. Finally, the raft empties into element number 5, the wave pool. It's not every day you get a wave pool and a water slide in one ride, but you should never underestimate Aqua Quita. Indeed, this water slide is a bucket list attraction for thrill seekers and slide credit seekers as well. My friend Brian, who got to experience this slide, told me about it with the following. "I started to have a fear just seeing how fast it was, and in the first seconds of my turn, I felt like I was about to drop off the raft, haha. Intense, unique, and jam-packed with elements, Tobogganxote is a slide to remember." Number 5. Kamikaze Wave at Russia's 21st Century Aqua Park. This water park as a whole looks standard but enjoyable. However, one attraction is anything but orthodox. One slide complex, known as X-Treme Slides, consists of 2 attractions, a 20-meter tall slide named Freefall, and a 30-meter tall slide named Kamikaze. At first glance, you may not think anything of this slide, and I agree it looks pretty ordinary at first. However, this slide isn't called Extreme for nothing. As you approach the entrance, you'll see several ominous signs. Perhaps the most telling one of all is the one that says, "Wear a helmet." It's certainly not the first water slide you have to wear a helmet on, but the reason you do is entirely due to a design flaw. You see, you can go down the smaller slide without a helmet just fine, but whoever built the tallest slide apparently made the curve at the bottom so sudden that passengers would hit their heads on it. So the park literally has you wear a kickboxing helmet to ride. Video of this slide is rare, but from the look of things, it's just as fast as the height implies. And the fact that you hit a pool at the end makes it perfect for aspiring daredevils. If you've gotten to check out this slide, feel free to comment down below. Number 4. Mogul Mania at Florida's Blizzard Beach. Blizzard Beach may be known for its fun, family-friendly water slides, but believe it or not, one attraction was so dangerous it never even opened to the public. The Ghost of Action Park may be looking at it in envy. Known as Mogul Mania, this slide was briefly seen in the 1995 VHS tape Disney Sing-Along Songs Beach Party at Walt Disney World. And this is quite possibly the only visual evidence of its existence, and it's Goofy singing Hot 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 by Buster Poindexter. Designed to mimic moguls on a ski slope, this slide featured what resembled large fiberglass bumps. To lubricate them, water jets simulating snow machines were used. It did sound creative, but when people actually tested it out, it was a disaster. The sing-along tape clearly shows kids being bounced violently down the course. One wipes out and another nearly gets kicked in the head. One message board post even claimed that Disney cast members tested it with helmets and knee pads, and yet it was still unsafe. Which begs the question why they allowed these child actors to ride without helmets and knee pads, but that's a story for another day. Their parents must have signed some pretty hardcore waivers. As it turned out, this slide would never open to the public, and it was very quietly closed before the park's grand opening. To this day, Mogul Mania remains one of Disney's most obscure and forgotten projects. In its place, 2 tamer slides called Cool Runners were eventually built. And you can even see the bumps that were probably part of Mogul Mania. Either that or this design choice was purely a coincidence. Number 3. Voyage to the Center of the Earth at Colorado's Water World. Dinosaurs and dark rides go together like ketchup and fries. Even cheaply made dinosaur dark rides, like this one I recently checked out in Krakow, Poland, are extremely entertaining. Now imagine taking a dinosaur dark ride and making it into a water slide, animatronics and all. That just screams awesome, and such a ride does indeed exist in the US state of Colorado. As part of a collaboration with Sally Dark Rides, this attraction takes guests on a multi-person raft through a prehistoric setting. Specifically, you'll explore a cave home to numerous dinosaur animatronics. Apparently, this ride opened all the way back in 1993, making it over 30 years old. In this case, I'm surprised more people haven't heard of it, because it sounds like the ultimate dreamlike water park attraction. On Sally Dark Ride's website, you can find a number of awesome photos of the ride that date all the way back to around when it first opened. You really have to appreciate the detail on these figures, and the fact that this ride is a water slide certainly makes it one of Sally's most ambitious attractions ever. By the way, Waterworld also has an Egyptian-themed dark ride water slide hybrid called Lost River of the Pharaohs. It also looks like a pretty awesome ride, and I'd love to check out this water park one day. Number 2. X-Treme Faser at Germany's Galaxy Erding. Believe it or not, this slide is actually pretty controversial. At first glance, you may think that this slide is a must ride. You can apparently hit 45 miles per hour on it, which is just insane for a water slide. However, that's not the reason it made this list. No, the real reason is much more controversial. As it turns out, those with certain pelvic regions are not allowed to ride this. I am actually 100% serious, and it even says so on the website. That alone is grounds for calling it insane, although not in the same way as other slides on this list. 6 women reported injuries, and some were serious enough to require hospitalization. Eventually, park manager Marcus Meyer told the local.de, quote, "These injuries are caused by the nature of the female anatomy." On the other hand, the Professional Association of Gynecologists expressed skepticism. They said there was no medical reason why women shouldn't be able to ride unless they were pregnant. When asked if the park considered reworking the slide, management told the media that they hadn't considered it since the slide was brand new and it already cost around €100,000 to build. Instead, Meyer said the park was working on building a protective specialty suit for women to use on the slide, like for ice hockey, and that's in quotes. As of right now, the official website still has the aforementioned warning. Surprisingly enough, this actually isn't the first case of something like this happening, and I'll include a link to that other instance in the description. Number 1. The looping slide prototype from Swiss manufacturer System Klar. No, this isn't the slide that opened at Action Park, and no, it isn't the prototype slide that never left Missouri. Instead, this slide is a largely forgotten prototype that was built but never actually opened. The always excellent Coaster Dave was actually able to dig up a lot of information on this slide, and big props to him for sending it over to me. With that said, here's a brief summary of what this ride is and what happened. Back in 2002, Klar set to do the unthinkable, build a looping water slide that actually worked. Instead of Cannonball Loop's disastrous safety record, Klar's goal was to create a smoother, safer version using modern engineering. One of the biggest flaws with Cannonball Loop was with people not making it through the loop. They either made it partway and slid backwards, or reached the top and face planted on the bottom. To avoid this, Klar's first design used a 70-degree drop. This steep angle was meant to give riders enough speed to clear the loop while avoiding whiplash and wipeouts. Eventually, Klar built a 40-foot tall prototype at their factory in Switzerland and began testing it with their own employees. However, safety inspectors found a pretty big problem. This slide provided up to 8 Gs of force, which was way above the recommended limit of 5. In other words, looping slide 1 looks too intense for me. In an attempt to salvage the design, Klar added new safety features like rider sensors, turnstiles to prevent collisions, and scales to enforce weight limits. They also redesigned the loop to have an incline, so that if riders didn't make it all the way through, they'd just slide back down safely instead of slamming into the wall. Unfortunately, this version still didn't pass certification, and the incline loop still pulled 6 Gs. However, Klar persisted with their design and finally came up with a version that was able to be certified. This slide was sold to German water park Aqua Plettenberg, and construction began in 2008. Fun fact, the park actually wanted the original version with the vertical loop, but the agreement stated that the design had to be finalized and certified first. After 6 entire years of trials, tweaks, and testing, the first Klar looping slide, called Aqua Looping, finally opened to the public in September 2008, earning worldwide acclaim. It's a wild story of trial and error, and a rare example of someone actually trying to fix the Cannonball Loop and sort of succeeding. There still isn't a slide with a full-on vertical loop, but perhaps that's for the best. Now it's time for the comment shoutout program. This is where I take 5 random comments from my previous video and read them out. These comments come from my video on bizarre roller coasters you've never heard of. David Ray 40 says, "You're right, I've never heard of any of these coasters, and there isn't enough money in existence that will convince me to ride any of them." Pokemon fan WSBGALT8574 says, "I've ridden Mission Ferrari, and because I'm getting an annual pass there, I'm gonna ride it way more." Jake Deadpool1234 says, "I always think I know a thing or two about obscure coasters, but then I see a video by you and get shocked that there's still so much interesting coasters out there. Goated channel." Thank you, Jake. Ninja Pwn Sat Life says, 16 inversions with less than 3,280 feet of track is diabolical, lol. And Coyote K4 says, "Number 1 on this list looks like the love child of a roller coaster and a tourbillon, but built with gigantic hula hoops." If you want to see your words in my next video, leave a comment down below and it may be selected. Please note though that inflammatory or spam comments will not be read. Thank you all so much, and I will put a link in the description if you want to support me on Patreon.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com.
And I'm on TikTok.
This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.